This is what we're going to do. We may be short on manpower, but it doesn't have to appear that way.
You'd love for him to play USC like you did, right?
No, I'd love for him to get a good education.
I don't know.
Hats for battles.
Yeah? What's your handicap?
Keep bats warm. Gracias. What communist friends are you referring to, Mr. Gregory?
Out of the bloody African National Congress.
Obviously, you have not read the Freedom Charter.
I have.
You have not. It is a banned document.
There's that time.
Do you think that your character in any way prepared America to elect a president who's African American?
At first, I thought it might have made people aware of the possibility, but actually one woman told me that I did, and that's the first time I believed it.
What if the voice you trusted to protect you in insurance commercials once convinced millions he could lead the free world?
We've learned that the best things in life don't cost much, and at Allstate, they don't cost much to protect. So protect them. Put them in good hands.
Dennis Haysbert's journey from San Mateo grocery store clerk to Hollywood icon hides two secrets that will leave you stunned: the deathbed promise that changed everything, and the role he almost refused that would have altered television history forever. But the revelation about what happened when he walked into Nelson Mandela's prison cell, that moment will haunt you.
San Mateo, California, June 2nd, 1954.
Dennis Dexter Haysbert entered the world as the 8th of 9 children born to Charles Whitney Haysbert Sr., a deputy sheriff and airline security guard, and Gladys Minor, a homemaker and house cleaner. His parents had migrated from Louisiana, bringing dreams bigger than their circumstances. At 6'5", Dennis dominated as a defensive end at San Mateo High School, putting rib cages on his locker as trophies from the quarterbacks he demolished in practice.
I used to put rib cages on my locker because that's where I used to hit them. Yeah.
So you put rib cages on your locker?
Yeah, they stamp them, because I used to wipe out quarterbacks.
But while his teammates mocked him for it, Dennis had fallen in love with acting. He played basketball until it interfered with theater season, enduring ridicule from football buddies who couldn't understand how someone who could crush quarterbacks also wanted to perform Shakespeare.
Guys used to make fun of me for being in acting, so I get him in practice because I was a defensive end.
On his bedroom wall hung 3 photographs: Marlon Brando, Laurence Olivier, and Sidney Poitier. Nobody in his family followed movies or theater closely. He just loved watching them work. In his 1972 San Mateo High School yearbook, beneath his senior photo, Dennis wrote something audacious. He wanted his face on the cover of Ebony and TV Guide. Then came the moment that made it urgent. Dennis had an older brother dying of cancer. The day before his brother passed, they had a conversation that would echo through Dennis's entire life. His brother asked, "What do you want to do?" "I want to be an actor." "Where do you want to do it?" "Can you do it from here?" "No, not really." His brother's final words: "Well, get the hell out of here then, because tomorrow's not promised." Dennis never forgot those words. Despite receiving athletic scholarships after graduating in 1972, Dennis turned them down and enrolled at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. His family couldn't understand it. His coaches were baffled. But Dennis had made his brother a promise. After graduating from AADA in 1977, Dennis moved to Los Angeles. He worked in a grocery store while taking acting classes. When he wasn't working or studying, Dennis consumed every self-help book he could find. How to visualize what you want. The power of positive thinking. He wasn't just hoping for success, he was programming himself for it. In 1978, Dennis landed his first television role on The White Shadow.
It's the game, baby. All right, big fella, want to go again?
Shoot, man, you got to be jiving.
Throughout the early 1980s, he collected credits. Lou Grant.
I've been going over your record.
Any questions?
Yeah. Did you ever do anything wrong?
Magnum P.I.
Whose orders?
I'm sorry, sir. This is a highly classified matter. If you would just come with me, it's urgent.
The A-Team. Night Court. Dallas.
This is Dr. Carter. He's a neurosurgeon. I called him in for a consultation on Mr. Ewing's case.
On April 13, 1980, Dennis married Alina Sims. The marriage lasted 4 years, ending August 17, 1984. But 1989 brought two significant changes. Dennis married Lynn Griffith, with whom he would have 2 children, Charles and Catherine. And he landed the role that would make him a household name. Major League cast Dennis as Pedro Serrano, a voodoo-practicing Cuban refugee baseball player who kept a shrine to Jobu and refused to hit curveballs. Here's what most people don't know. Dennis actually hit those home runs. Every single one.
She's tough now, Jobu. Look, I go to you. I stick up for you. You know, help me now. You, Jobu. I do it myself.
So when we're watching you swing in Major League as Pedro Serrano,
Yeah.
is that your swing?
That's my swing. Oh, and I don't know if we ever talked about this, but
Okay.
every ball I hit out, except not as far as they shot it out, because they had to reverse the camera.
During filming, Dennis routinely crushed balls out of the park. He and Charlie Sheen were the only actors who could actually play baseball. Dennis hit all 3 home runs shown in the film. They just didn't fly as far as cameras made them appear. The swing was 100% his. Baseball players loved Major League. Dennis had real players approach him saying they'd watch the movie on the bus before games, that some even started lighting firecrackers on their bats like Serrano. The voodoo doll of Jobu became so associated with Dennis that he deliberately left the original on set. Certain things, he decided, you leave where they belong.
I finally got a Jobu doll. I don't have the original because I wanted to get rid of that because, that was voodoo I was practicing. And I said, you know what? Certain things you got to leave on the set. And somebody took that, and I don't know where they are now because I haven't heard from them again. So they took a voodoo doll, man. I said, okay.
Dennis reprised the role in Major League 2, 1994, and Major League Back to the Minors, 1998.
Excellent pitch, man. Serrano full, but ball and blue sky, beautiful, like lonely snowflake.
But in 1992, something showed Dennis's range went beyond sports comedies. He co-starred with Michelle Pfeiffer in Love Field, about events surrounding Kennedy's assassination. The role had originally been offered to Denzel Washington. When the script came to Dennis, he almost didn't believe it was real. Too good, the kind of role actors dream about but rarely get offered. Dennis delivered a performance that announced him as a serious dramatic actor. The film addressed race relations in 1960s America with nuance and emotional honesty. Dennis was adamant that the Black community didn't just want action films. They wanted characters who reflected real human complexity.
Have you seen her run from me? Have you seen her pull away? Let her go. See who she comes to.
No, I can't say that I would agree with that. I think what they want to do, what the Black community wants to see, is a man or a woman on screen that respects themselves and gives a good performance, and also tells them something that they already know, not quite ready to see, or what they're ready to see. I think this will be enlightening to the Black community as well as the white community. No, I can't agree with that. I think those stories are relevant, and we need to see them, and we need to see what we're doing to ourselves. And I think the white segment of our society needs to see what's going on in our cities. I think everything has its place, but I don't think that, one community is going to support a film because it takes place in the city, or it's an interracial love affair, or it's a Black astronaut or a Black doctor or anything else.
Throughout the 1990s, Dennis worked steadily. Navy SEALs, 1990.
Sorry, Joe. Excuse me.
I know this is bad timing.
With you guys, it's always bad timing.
I'll call you when I can.
Heat, 1995.
You remember the drill?
Yeah, man, sure. Is it cool? Oh, man, now you know I'm cool.
Waiting to Exhale, 1995.
Every trip I make out here, I dread going home. And the longer I think about it, the more I'm convinced that this is what I want to do when the time is right.
Absolute Power, 1997.
Luther, it's my president, right or wrong.
In 2000, director Gina Prince Bythewood cast Dennis as Zeke McCall in Love and Basketball.
Quincy, give yourself time to develop. Get an education. The NBA ain't going nowhere.
Opposite Debbie Morgan as his wife, and with Sanaa Lathan and Omar Epps as the young leads, Dennis portrayed a former NBA star grappling with infidelity and its consequences. The role required Dennis to show a father whose past mistakes cast shadows over his son's life. Love and Basketball became a cultural phenomenon, and Dennis's performance as Zeke added gravitas. a man who'd achieved his dreams but nearly lost everything that mattered. But Dennis was visualizing something even bigger. He wanted to play a president. In 2001, Fox debuted 24.
You just couldn't wait to leak it to the press. It was you. What were you thinking?
They already knew.
Damn it, Sherry, the way you keep defying me.
Dennis was cast as Senator David Palmer, who becomes the first Black U.S. president in the show's universe. Dignified, principled, decisive. A leader who commanded respect, not because of his race, but despite the obstacles it presented.
I played David Palmer, who's a senator from Maryland, a former NBA star.
The show became a phenomenon. Years later, Dennis stated publicly that he believed his playing of David Palmer helped Barack Obama win the 2008 Democratic presidential nomination. He wasn't claiming sole credit, just acknowledging that sometimes art prepares the ground for reality.
I was asked in an interview whether I thought that there would be a Black president in the United States, and I said, yeah, why not?
Dennis was nominated for a Golden Globe. He appeared in the first 5 seasons, serving as president during seasons 2 and 3, before President Palmer's fate became one of television's most shocking moments. But even as 24 made him famous, Dennis was preparing for the role of a lifetime. In 2007, Dennis was offered the chance to play Nelson Mandela in Goodbye Bafana.
It is not. It is in fact true nationalism, where all the people, white, black, color, Indian, all benefit from the accumulated wealth of the land.
When the offer came, Dennis almost said no.
Man, that was the only movie where I almost said no. And not because I didn't want to play it. I was questioning whether I could play it. And that lasted maybe 30 seconds. And I just said, I don't know if I can do this. And just said, you know what am I talking about? This is the challenge that you live for in cinema. You get those characters and you have to speak their language, which is Xhosa. And I didn't even know how to say close.
Yeah, exactly.
I got there, because it's spelled with an X now. Xhosa.
Yeah, with an exclamation point.
Then when I learned that you had to have that click, and you had to speak it, and I had to get his accent down, and it was just amazing. I never had so much fun researching a character as I did researching Nelson Mandela. I never got a chance to meet him. The chances that I did have to meet him, I was already filming, and I knew it would change my performance. So I had denied myself that pleasure. And I'm hoping that I can get to meet him before his transition.
He had a momentary loss of confidence. Nelson Mandela was one of his top 5 human beings in history, alongside Mother Teresa, Gandhi, JFK, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X. For about 30 seconds, Dennis questioned whether he was worthy. Then he remembered his brother's words, "Tomorrow's not promised." Dennis accepted. He learned Xhosa, Mandela's language. He deliberately avoided meeting Mandela during filming because he knew it would change his performance. The production built a replica of Mandela's prison cell. When Dennis walked into that reconstructed cell for the first time, he couldn't walk out. Something happened, an energy transference he couldn't explain.
They built one on stage. There had to be some kind of energy transference because I couldn't walk in there for a while.
Wow.
Dennis, a man who could switch characters on and off like a light, found himself emotionally paralyzed. The cell was filled with replicas of the books Mandela had during his 27 years of imprisonment. Standing there, Dennis felt the weight of those years in his body. Someone once asked Mandela how he spent 27 years in prison without losing his sanity. Mandela's response became the key to Dennis's performance. "I didn't spend 27 years in prison. They spent 27 years in prison with me, because I had 27 years to change their lives and turn them into human beings." Dennis never got to meet Mandela before the great man's transition. It remains one of his deepest regrets. In 2002, Dennis delivered another career-defining performance in Far From Heaven, playing gardener Raymond Deegan opposite Julianne Moore. He won 3 awards for Best Supporting Actor, the Satellite Award, Black Reel Award, and Washington, D.C. Area Film Critics Association Award. But most Americans know Dennis's voice from somewhere else. In 2003, Allstate Insurance hired Dennis as their spokesman. Those commercials, "Are you in good hands?" made Dennis's voice as recognizable as any movie role. He officiated the coin toss at the 2007 Sugar Bowl and served as Grand Marshal at the 2005 Allstate 400.
1931 was not exactly a great year to start a business, but that's when Allstate opened its doors.
The Allstate work gave Dennis financial freedom to choose roles based on artistic merit. He appeared in Jarhead, 2005.
I don't care if it's full of Chanel number 5. I'm not going to the other side of this camp for my morning glory.
Voiced characters in video games, and from 2006 to 2009, starred as Sergeant Major Jonas Blaine in CBS's The Unit.
Feeling sorry for ourselves ain't gonna make the donuts. Do we go? Do we stay? Each man has to decide for himself.
He became the first actor to portray DC Comics character Kilowog outside of comics, voicing the Green Lantern Corps member on Justice League. Years later, he replaced the late Michael Clark Duncan as Manute in Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, 2014. In June 2010, Dennis joined David Mamet's Race on Broadway. When asked about race relations in America, Dennis gave an answer that cut to the heart. The biggest misconception is that people think race matters. "We are one race," he said. The only thing that might change humanity's obsession with racial division would be the arrival of aliens, because suddenly, race stops mattering. You don't care who's to your left or right. You only care that they have a weapon and they're firing in the same direction.
The biggest misconception is that people think that it matters. All people.
Right.
You know, we are one race.
It's ironic that the closest thing to a utopian society exists in the carnage of war, where survival depends on unity. Since September 2015, Dennis has been the opening voice of NBC's Meet the Press. In 2016, he co-starred in Incorporated, a dystopian thriller produced by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. In 2018, he appeared in Reverie, about virtual reality technology.
Your all-time favorite memory, the most beautiful, mind-blowing place you can remember.
When I was, 10.
Dennis saw the show as prophetic, a warning about where technology might take humanity when the virtual becomes more appealing than the real. In 2019, Dennis starred in Netflix's Secret Obsession.
This is Detective Page.
I was wondering if your wife would come down to the station tomorrow at 11 to talk about the accident.
In 2020, he played God himself in Season 5 of Lucifer. In 2021, A&E announced Dennis would host a revival of American Justice.
I definitely believe this is one of those times you're saying one thing and mean another.
His high school yearbook prophecy came true. His face appeared on both Ebony and TV Guide, exactly as he'd visualized. Dennis is both a Giants and Dodgers fan, which he knows is baseball heresy, but his reasoning is sound. Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson changed baseball forever when they broke the color barrier. As of 2024, Dennis Haysbert's net worth is estimated at $20 million. He's been married twice, to Elena Sims from 1980 to 1984, and to Lynn Griffith from 1989 to 2001, with whom he had 2 children, Charles and Catherine. His parents were married for 51 years before his father's death. Looking back at his journey from grocery store clerk to one of Hollywood's most respected character actors, Dennis credits visualization. If he hadn't visualized playing athletes, Major League never would have happened. If he hadn't visualized playing a president, David Palmer never would have existed. His brother was right. Tomorrow's not promised. But Dennis Haysbert has spent decades making the most of every today he's been given. One role, one performance, one visualization at a time, proving that the boy who put Brando and Olivier on his bedroom wall knew exactly where he was headed all along.